Welcome back. I'm Dr. Mark Wilson. Chances are, if you're watching this video, we've already examined you. We've done a chiropractic, neurologic, orthopedic exam on you. Chances are we did scans on you. We might have even taken x-rays. We're going to go over all that information. The purpose of this video is to help frame the information or the context in which I'm going to put that information. Doctor in Latin means teacher. I want to teach you right now a little bit about chiropractic and then a lot about you. I appreciate you watching. So the first thing about chiropractic, for those of you who have never been to a chiropractor, or maybe it's been a long time since you were at your last chiropractor, is that our whole profession's based on two simple axiomatic premises. Number one, the body is designed to heal. Okay? You were designed to heal. You were formed from a little sperm that swam along and met an egg on one fateful day, and you started becoming you. That's a miracle when you stop and think about that. There is enough innate intelligence inside those two cells to form the multi-trillion celled organism that you are. So that's the first premise. Your body is designed to be healthy and well. If you cut yourself, you heal. You break a bone, you heal. You get a cold, you heal. The body's constantly trying to shift you toward health and vitality and wellness. That's the good news. So we base our whole profession off that. You're not just designed to get sick and hurt and be in pain and decay and dig a grave and crawl in it. Okay, that's not the goal here. All right, number two. The second basic axiomatic premise that chiropractic's built on is the fact that there is a system that regulates and controls every other system inside the body. And that system is the nervous system. You've got the brain up here, you've got the spinal cord right here. Now that is the central nervous system, and it literally lives in the center of our body, and chiropractors believe that is central to your overall health and well-being. Now, coming off this central nervous system is a peripheral nervous system, a whole series of nerves that come off to, again, like I say, control and coordinate every cell, tissue, and organ system inside the body. For example, the heart, the liver, the stomach, the muscles, the intestines, every other system inside your body is hooked up to that system. Now, thankfully, there's a system that protects that system. That's called the skeletal system. Here's the skull protecting the brain. Here's the vertebrae protecting that lifeline of the body, okay? The lifeline of the body. There is constant information being sent down to the body and then back up to the brain through this super information highway. And the way I've come to think about this over many, many years in practice is I think of the brain as trying to communicate essentially 100% life, if you want to think of it that way, to, let's say, that heart cell right there or that liver cell right there. And so the question chiropractors are trying to answer is 100% life reaching those organ systems of the body, or is there some distortion starting to set up where the brain is starting to communicate information to the brain, so they give the information too? Okay? Those areas of interference or blockage are what we call subluxation. We're the only healthcare professionals in the world trained to look for subluxations and go on to correct subluxations. And chances are, if you're a chiropractic candidate, you have subluxations, or at least one, or multiple subluxations that need corrected. We're going to talk about, if you have those, where they are, to what degree, what do we need to do about that. We'll get to all that in just a second, okay? Now, another important point, I think, to talk about is what you're being exposed to day in, day out. Every single last one of you has this going on in your life. I know you do because you're alive. You've got stress. And it bombards us in multiple ways. It bombards us in mental and emotional ways. It bombards us in physical ways. It bombards us in chemical ways. And the body has to constantly try to adapt to that. Well, the way I've come to think about the nervous system is it's constantly sampling and sensing this beautiful world we live in and stressful world we live in. And it has to adapt. And then it also, like I mentioned earlier, is coordinating and controlling all the inside the body stuff. So it's adapting to the outside stressful environment and controlling the inside environment. And we want that system hooked up beautifully, okay? Now, another important concept I want to touch on before we get to your health information, which we're going to talk about, is the concept of wellness. Here's well over here. Here's ill over here. Ill or sick. Now, how do most people measure, or how do you measure how healthy or sick you are? Let me ask this. How do you know when you're sick? Most people will say, how I feel. If I feel bad, then I'm no longer well. Okay, I might be sick or injured or ill. Now this is a potential way of measuring that, but not a very good way. And if we go to a medical doctor, not here to pick on medicine, there's a time and place for medicine, and by the way, if I think you need a medical doctor, I have no problem referring you out of my office to the medical providers you need, okay? But medical doctors very often will approach how you feel by prescribing you some powders, potions, or pills to help you not feel what it is you're feeling, okay? Well, clearly you didn't go to a medical doctor, you came to a chiropractor, so let's talk about chiropractic for just a second more. I listen to how you feel, but I know this. I know you could be feeling great, I could be feeling great, my children could be feeling great, my wife could be feeling great, but be sick. In fact, I just recently had a friend, maybe I will mention her name. Her name is Karen Ward, a dear friend of mine 2 weeks ago. When this video is made, maybe it won't be 2 weeks by then when you're watching this, but here's my point. Karen had some stuff going on in her body that she was unaware of. She had cancer. So the earliest stages of cancer, the earliest stages of diabetes, the earliest stages of dental cavities, the earliest stages of hardening of the arteries, we don't know how that's going, or we often don't know that's going on because we can't yet feel it, okay? I'm hanging on this feeling component because I think it's important. As your chiropractor, I'm going to, of course, be listening to how you feel. That is what the sensory nervous system is all about, okay? There's 3 parts to the nervous system. The sensory nervous system is, do we feel pain? Posturally, are we standing? Are we sitting? Are we laying down? How hot or cold is this room right now? That's the sensory nervous system. And when you come in on each and every visit, you help me know how you feel by touching the digital screen up front. You're giving me a digital note, and I appreciate that. You're helping me know the subjective component of what you're experiencing. Now, what I measured was the autonomic nervous system and the motor nervous system, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, but let me help you understand that further. The autonomic nervous system controls the gut and glands. Think of it as the communication system for the stuff inside the body. Now the motor nervous system controls the muscles. Think of that maybe as the control system for the stuff on the body. We've got muscles all over our body, 660 some odd muscles that need control and coordinate. We're going to talk about these systems in just a second on the scans that we may or may not have taken on you the other day. Another thing I want to mention, we're going to be going over the x-rays with you. Now the x-rays are important because we're trying to figure out if there's any skeletal decay or bone decay going on you, or osteoarthritis or disc degeneration. Call it what you want. The point is the spine does have a tendency to move in this direction if we don't care for it. Kind of like dental health. If you don't brush your teeth each night, guess what? Over a series of some years, maybe decades, you're going to end up losing your teeth because they're not going to be as healthy as they could. Well, guess what? The spine can be healthy too. We're going to talk about strategies, tips, and ideas to get you guys there. I really appreciate you guys choosing me as your chiropractor. I'm going to now end this video. You guys can come on in the room and we'll go over your x-rays in person and your scans as well. Thank you for choosing us.